Hope you're doing well today. Got my Hocus Pocus cup to go along with the theme of today's Q&A, today's topic. I'll wait for a couple more people to join in. Hello, good to see you guys. So today I just wanted to chat about Halloween. I want to talk about the reasons why I personally love Halloween, and then I will also be opening up to Q&A, question and answer. You guys feel free to join in the conversation in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about Halloween, what you love about Halloween and why. And then the Q&A at the end, basically that's whatever you guys want to ask me, whether it's about anything magical or psychic related, questions that you're curious about, if it's about like manifestation advice, or if it's something you're just curious about me in general, you can do that as well. But let me just take another sip out of my Hocus Pocus cup, mug, cauldron, thingamabob. So one of the reasons why, well, first let me say this. For those that are like, oh, Halloween is the devil's holiday, this and that, that is not true. If you actually do your research on where Halloween came from, it's kind of like a mixing pot of cultural beliefs that are celebrated during this time. Like different celebrations that are happening within different cultures during this same period, during the same time period, which at least where I am is considered the fall season, the autumn season. It's also known as the harvest season. So it's a combination of different things. Not to mention that if you actually do your research, you will actually see that the church plays a huge role in why trick-or-treating is a thing in the first place. So they actually played a role in starting that. But like I said, I'm not going to get into too much of the history of it because I want people to start doing their own research on certain things. But Halloween overall is a combination of different cultural celebrations that took place in different regions all around the same time. So anywhere from like Dia de los Muertos in Mexico to different Celtic celebrations that are taking place within the season. And one of the main reasons in a lot of places that it's so much associated with death is because for one, the veil is thinning around that time. And if you hear me making noises, it's my seasonal dry cough. And as the veil gets thinner, it gets worse because spirits are trying to talk to me. But one of the other reasons why Halloween is so much associated with death is because as the seasons were changing, the crops were harder to maintain in certain areas. So as it get closer and closer to winter, the more and more the crops were dying off. So the more and more it was hard to survive. So that is also part of the reason why it's so much connected to this feeling or theme of death, is because of just survival, and evolution. And with all of that, it's considered a time of transition, death and rebirth, because to cross over is just the next chapter. There's no such thing as death. There's only a change and transference of energy. So that's one of the reasons why. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I personally love this time because even though it can be challenging, it opens up to more of an acceptance of the shadow side. We all have light side, we all have shadow side. Some people's scales are kind of off balance one way or the other. The real power, like I'm always saying, comes when you are in balance of both the shadow and the light. But it's like during this particular season, which we call spooky season, it's more acceptable to embrace that shadow within balance, of course, and to a healthy degree, if you know what I mean. So me personally, I've always been someone intrigued by the spirit world overall and magic. And growing up, I did grow up Christian. I did grow up in a Baptist household, and then we went to non-denominational before I began studying different world religions, and then before I began to travel with different dance companies. And then as I studied cultural anthropology, and then as I had my spiritual awakening, I then realized I don't believe in organized religion for a number of reasons. And as I was discovering truths about a lot of these things, even the I say all that to say that I grew up in a household where I wasn't allowed to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was evil. I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween. But my whole life I've been intrigued by this period. And as I grew and I studied and I learned and I came into my awakening and my embracing my power when I finally had the freedom to do so, I began to realize why I was so intrigued by these things. Because we also need the shadow. We need the shadow to show us the good. We can't have one without the other. So the reason I love this time period is because of overall enlightenment and understanding, and knowledge is understanding that both exist. So we can't be in denial. So during this time of embracing the shadow and acknowledging that it exists in a healthier way and in a balanced way, I appreciate. So I appreciate the ability to look into the depths of my own shadow to see how far I've come and how to heal and grow from it. I also even get, I even enjoy knowing my power in the sense that I have seen some darker things in life. I'll just give an example. One time I had to get a dark entity out of a family member. So once you kind of see things like that, because you realize both exist, once you overcome certain things like that, you begin to realize that certain things don't have power over you if you don't fear it, but you can still acknowledge that it is there. So I like to use this time to understand and embrace and heal the shadow side of myself, to embrace and understand the shadow side of the world and other people, to send healing to it all. And in order to do that, we have to be able to incorporate it, if that makes sense. So this is why I kind of appreciate the spooky season, why I love Halloween time, and also in understanding that it's a number of different cultural beliefs that we are celebrating during this time, cultural practices that we are celebrating during this time, which I think it's all important, if that's making sense. Let me know why you guys love Halloween too, if you're just joining in, or spooky season, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. I also love this time because I always like to think of in moderation, all things in moderation, right? So I enjoy scary movies. Spooky movies, movies involving hauntings and things like that. Why? Because I gotta see what I'm up against. So I've learned my lesson though. As a sensitive empath, I can only watch those things in moderation. One time I made the mistake of binge watching, I think it was American Horror Story, and then a whole bunch of other scary movies, and I didn't have any breaks and I didn't cleanse in between, and that was a bad mistake because my vibration dropped, and then I noticed certain things were just around. I'll put it that way. So now, every now and then, I don't watch it often, but every now and then I will watch a scary movie or something because I feel called to do so. And then I've noticed one time, I think it was the newest Conjuring that came out. My boyfriend and I felt the need to watch it, go see it. Well, it was either The Conjuring or Annabelle. I think it was The Conjuring. And immediately after I watched it, somebody had gifted me something, gave me a gift. And when they gave me that gift, even though seeming like a happy, positive gesture, their energy was attached to it. And because their energy towards me at the time wasn't there were some complications there, I'll just say that. I noticed that some things were happening, not in a positive way, but had I not just seen that movie, for example, I maybe would not have recognized what was going on. But I was able to heal it, cleanse it, release it. So I say all that to say, I appreciate spooky season yet again because it shows me sometimes what I could possibly be up against, so I know how to overcome it, how to heal it for myself, for others around me, to call in that light and to heal it again. Because like I said, you can't have light without the dark. Both exist, so we can't be in denial that the other side exists, you know? What are some of the reasons why you guys love Halloween? Let me see what else. But yeah, so I like to be able to, you know, watch some of the spookier things during this time, because I know it all leads to a healing, a realization, cleansing, epiphanies, things like that, because the world needs healing. We all have our own inner demons, meaning the things that we deal with to some level, our insecurities, our fears, our generational curses, the things that haunt us, either like on a spiritual level or, you know, within our memories and our mindset and experiences. So we have to be able to acknowledge it. And this is the time that allows us to acknowledge those things so that we can heal and overcome them in balance and in moderation. Hi. If you're just joining in, don't worry. I will say this as well. But go ahead and let me know. We're talking about spooky season, Halloween, and why we love this period. I know some of you who just joined in love this time as well, with my little hocus pocus cup going on. So let me know some of the reasons. Hey girl, let me know why y'all love this season. Join in the convo. And also I will go ahead and open up the Q&A as well to ask other things. If you just want to know something about me you're curious about, or manifestation tips, or questions about magic, or questions about psychic ability, tarot, oracle, let me know. I'll open up to Q&A to see if anybody has anything. And if not, then I hope you enjoyed this. And I will run, because I have committed myself to walking every day for 30 days. It's a challenge because I'm exhausted. I don't want to go and walk 2 to 4 miles. My minimum is 2 miles every day. But I'm sticking to my commitment. And also in October, I'm going to be giving up bread. That's going to be a challenge because I love bread. It's true that the veils are thin during that time. Is it true that the veils are thin during that time? Yes, the veil is thin. It's already thinning. It's been thinning. That's why my cough that you hear comes this time every year, because people are like, I'm here, I'm ready to communicate, let's talk, let's chat. But yes, the veil is thinning. And what I mean by that, when I say the veil is thinning, what I mean by that is that cloak that that keeps the realms separate, the different realms separate, so that like us right here in this 3D realm right now, most of the time we're not going to be seeing that there's a spirit over there, or an entity from another realm over there, whether it's positive, quote unquote, or negative, quote unquote. We don't really see it, sense it, feel it. The majority of people, me, I feel it all the time because I'm open to it. But the veil is thinning during this time because it's a time of transformation, because it's a time of death and rebirth, because it's a time of great and major change. And during that time, with the veil thinning, people may begin to sense it more and more, the different realms. Some people may see things, some people may just feel a little bit more, some people may not be fully sure what it is that's going on, but they can sense that something's different in the energy in the air, like, you know, the winds of change, as they say. So that's what I mean when the veil is thinning during this time. Yes, it's a very powerful time. And like I said, it's a great time for healing. Great time for healing, because of embracing the shadow side as well and incorporating that within the light, acknowledging both in balance and in healthy and moderate ways. I also love it because, you know, for example, like costumes and stuff, we get to transform ourselves if we desire, you know, like as a kid, when we play make-believe, what we don't realize when we're playing make-believe is that that's actually opening our third eye, because when we're using our imagination, when we are playing dress up and make believe and playing pretend, we are actually we don't realize it as children. We do a lot as children that is naturally just amazing and beyond our years. But when we do that, we are actually strengthening our third eye and visualization, which helps us to manifest. So if we still kind of play in that energy as adults during Halloween time and spooky season, and it's like, you know what, today I am gonna be Storm from X-Men, or I'm Khaleesi from the Queen of Dragons, right? What energy am I taking on when I am playing that make pretend in that costume? You know, when I am doing that, it's actually a way of incorporating magic and medicine that we may not have realized. We do it as kids, but as adults we're doing that. So it's like, if I'm gonna put on silver hair today, and I'm saying, or white hair, however you view this, because perception is everything, and I say I'm Storm from X-Men, I am now taking on the energy of Storm from X-Men. I now have this power, this ability to work with the elements to my advantage. If I say I'm Khaleesi, Queen of the Dragons, that's my costume, that's who I am for this Halloween spooky season, then I now have the energy to be queen of, going after using my fiery energy and passion, or some things like that, incorporating that energy. Or I'm wise. The gray is now giving me the medicine of being wise. The silver is now representing the divine feminine. So when we play in these visions and make believe energy, we're actually we can do spell work that way. It's enhancing our third eye. Using our imagination is helping with our what I'm looking for. It's a third eye vision exercise. It's helping with our intuition, actually, because we need to be able to visualize in order to use our clairvoyance. So it's actually helping with all of that. So as an adult, I'm still gonna do it now that I can, without people telling me that I'm not allowed. Because so it's also a beautiful thing that way. And if you guys actually start to research Halloween and things like that, there's different reasons culturally in different places why we did costumes. For some people, it was a way to disguise themselves so that the darker entities did not recognize them. So it was a way of protection. Even still, like sometimes I'll play in hair and stuff as a way to protect my energy and my crown still. And for other places, it meant other things. So culturally, like I said in the beginning, the practices that we do during this time, they are similar yet different depending upon the culture that's celebrating it and why. But it's all during the same time for similar energetic reasons, if that is making sense. So these are the reasons why I love it. I'm learning. Yes, keep learning. We have to. That's what we got to do. I think that's all for now. Thank you guys for joining in. And the October forecast is now up. If you guys want to see that reading, it's on my YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and like those videos also. And for example, if you want more of an in-depth reading, you can even go back to like previous forecasts. The times don't really matter. So it's like if October 2021 forecast pops up in October 2023, you can still watch it. Just apply whatever week you're in to that time, and you can still get a reading, because all my readings are timeless. So if the algorithm has suggested to you, I don't see it as an algorithm. I see it as the universe showing you that video as a suggestion and divine timing, because it's probably something you need to hear or see in it, whether it's the pick a cards, the forecast, or the cards of the day, or etc. But I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go to my walk before I talk myself out of it, and then I'm going to get back to readings. Love you all. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. You guys know where to find me. I will talk to you guys another time. Bye.